You are about to listen to the Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo podcast. What's up, everyone? I am your host, Diego Santoyo, and you guys are tuning into my podcast, Exclusively Here. I hope everyone is well and getting through this week just fine. It's almost over, so if you haven't been having the most amazing week, don't worry, new one to come soon. So much going on this week. So let me tell you guys some of the things that have been going on so far. So let's kick this episode off with the first segment and get into some world news. On Monday, November 7th, a woman was pushed into an oncoming train here in the US, out in New York City. She was pushed by another woman and was killed. The whole thing was witnessed by quite a few people, and they immediately got a hold of the police. Everything took place a little after 1 p.m., and the suspect was immediately arrested and later on charged with murder. So there's currently an investigation going on. The police is trying to see if they can get a hold of footage, and witnesses are being interviewed. So it's still unclear what went on here. It was reported that the two got into an argument, and then that's when one pushed the other. But who knows? We'll know once everything is investigated right. And then on Tuesday, November 8th, a street collapsed in a city in southern Japan, which created a pretty big sinkhole. Everyone was ordered to evacuate the area, and the collapse caused power outages. Water and gas was also cut off in certain areas. The good thing is that no one was hurt. There were no reports of injuries, and the cause for the collapse is currently being investigated. There was some construction going on nearby, which is being said that that might have had something to do with it. And this isn't the first time that they have experienced something like this out there. Something very similar happened back in 2014, but it was not as bad as this one. Still bad, but not as big. So pretty scary stuff there because someone could have been driving on the road or crossing the street and could have gotten hurt. So good thing that no one was hurt and that everyone is fine. So now fixing the problem is next, but everyone has been told to stay away from the area just in case. Let's hope everyone listens to that. All right, on Wednesday, November 9th, there was a terrible accident in South London. A tram derailed, which left a lot of people injured. It was for sure over 50 people, and unfortunately, 7 people were killed in the accident. So far, it looks like the tram was going pretty fast and a little too fast to the point where that type of speed is not allowed. Um, the driver was arrested, and things are being looked into at the moment. Some people were trapped and couldn't get out when it all happened. Emergency workers showed up to the scene to help out and were there for quite a few hours. The whole accident was a terrible scene. Everyone was seriously hurt and given the proper attention needed. People were taken to the hospital. So it looks like the driver was at fault here and will probably be facing some charges very soon. Okay, so let's get into one of the biggest stories of the week. The US, our country, has been going through a pretty crazy week. The next president has just been announced. So, Donald Trump, it is. He will be our new president. He will be the 45th president of the United States. He is set to begin on January 20th, 2017. Waiting to find out what was going to happen, who was going to win, was really interesting because I think a lot of people believed that Hillary Clinton was going to win. I honestly thought she was going to win. I think everyone believed that she had it and it was hers. I also believed that Donald Trump himself believed that she was going to win. He would often remind people that the system is rigged, and I think he felt like if he lost, it would have to be because the system is rigged. But he won, so who knows if he still believes that the system is rigged. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, were in shock to find out that he, won. Donald Trump, throughout his campaign, said a lot of hurtful things, insulted a lot of people, and scared many. He wasn't so nice, and so this instantly was something that made everyone believe that there was no way he was going to win. I mean, who's going to vote for someone after hearing some of the things he has said or what he is saying he will do if he becomes president, which some of those things have scared people. But people did vote for him, and quite a lot of people voted for him. I got to say that I was very surprised to see the outcome because I thought everyone was going to vote for Hillary. It just seemed that way. And when I was watching the election go down on Tuesday night, everyone reporting on it was really shocked with what was happening. Seeing the numbers roll in and the electoral votes come in and not necessarily go to the person everyone is expecting for them to go to was really surprising. He was just winning over state after state, and some which many believed Hillary was going to win over, and she didn't. So it was a really interesting night, and I stayed up pretty late watching and just wanting to find out what was going to happen. I think there may have been a lot of people that lied about voting for Hillary Clinton. If you were going around saying that you were going to vote for Donald Trump, the criticism would roll in and not stop. So in this case, um, it was easier, I think, for some people to just say that they were voting for her instead of him to avoid the criticism and whatever else came with it. You would definitely receive a lot of hate for saying that you would be voting for him because it was all about Hillary Clinton. Throughout her campaign, she was kind, and I don't think she scared people as much as he did. She didn't insult people like he did or instill fear in people like he did. I believe that those that voted for him knew that the things he may have said during his campaign were not quite nice and very hurtful, but what he would be bringing to the table next year is what they want. So if you are voting for him, people automatically assume that you're okay with everything he has said and that you're okay with him insulting people and so on. But that isn't necessarily the case. Not everyone that did vote for him agreed with some of the things he has said or done throughout his campaign, but they want the change he will bring in. So to avoid the assumptions and people thinking that, hey, you're just like Donald Trump, it was easier to say, I am voting for Hillary to avoid trouble or people getting in your face about it because, I mean, look at how many people voted for him. And people are constantly asking the question, who are you voting for? And when everyone is sticking to this one person, it can be scary to say the name of the other because you feel alone and no one else is there to back you up. So I thought votes were really going in for her, and so did others. So numbers were wrong, and things just didn't turn out the way everyone expected for things to go. Uh, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are not perfect human beings, just like I'm not a perfect human being. No one is. Hillary knows the system. She's been around, Secretary of State, and has experience. However, she did have the whole email scandal, and there's just a lot there that you just feel like you can't trust her. Donald Trump probably does not have as much experience, and I knew him for being on TV. He hasn't been nice, and through his actions and words lately, people don't really trust him. So they each have their flaws. Many felt like Hillary had to win because she can drive a little better than Donald can. In other words, her experience is just much greater than his. And I think people felt like, hey, if a mess is made, do we want a little mess or a big one? It was a tough decision for many people because you want to trust the person you are voting for. And I don't think people felt like either could be trusted. Tuesday night was pretty historic. It was crazy, and Donald Trump won. He is going to be the next president really, really soon. If you didn't want him to win, accept it. It is what it is. Everyone needs to give him a chance and see what he can do. You never know. He might just be the best one we've ever had. You never know. He gave a speech that night, technically being Wednesday already, and it was good and he was nice. He said nice things about Hillary and he doesn't want us to be divided but together. I think we got to see a different side of him, and hopefully that side is what we see more often now. Running a country is no easy job, and if he can do it, then go for it. Um, Hillary and Donald worked really hard for this opportunity. It takes a lot, and it must have been hard on Hillary to have gone through this whole campaign, all the hours and work you put into it, and not win. I'm sure it stings a little, but to have made it as far as she did, she has to be proud of herself. And Donald won, so he should be proud of himself as well. Historic moments, man, created, and more to come, I'm sure. So, enough about that, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more news after this. Hey everyone, just want to remind you guys that you guys are listening to Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo. I hope you guys are enjoying my podcast so far. Exclusively Here with Diego Santoyo is made available to everyone by 12 a.m. or 6 a.m. every Friday, and you can find my podcast on my website, which is diegosantoyo.com. My podcast is also available on iTunes and on my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. Okay, so let's keep this episode going with some more news But now let's change it up a bit and get into some pop culture. So, going to kick this off with Ruby Rose and Jess Origliazzo. The two are back together again, and I say again because they have dated before. Rumors were recently going around that the two had become an item again, and it was officially confirmed on Monday, November 7th, that they are indeed together. Since the last time they dated, they still remained friends and remained very close, but they really reconnected recently when they were filming a video for a new song by the Veronicas. So the two love each other and are letting everyone know that they are together. And they first started dating back in 2008. Sometimes people end things, but as time goes on, some people get back together, and that's definitely what has happened here. So looks like we might be seeing someone new soon on Modern Family. The show is currently on its 8th season, and when episode 12 rolls around, catch Peyton Manning. He will be appearing in the episode, and he's actually not going to be playing himself, so it'll be interesting to watch. He will be playing the role of a coach, and this is his first acting gig, so pretty cool because Modern Family is a hit. And I mean, it is on its 8th season already, so that says a lot. So really cool for him to have had this opportunity. We'll see what everyone thinks about his acting skills, and once the episode comes out, I'm sure there will be plenty of people voicing out their opinions. Okay, so if you watch The Bachelor, if you have kept up with the show, then I'm sure you must remember former contestant Ashley Frazier. She was on season 17, which was back in 2013, hoping to win over Sean Lowe, which didn't happen. Well, that's okay because she ended up finding someone else and now she's engaged. She is engaged to Aaron Williams. The two have known each other for quite some time now, and they took things to another level. So he got down on one knee and asked the question. She said yes, and now she's got a wedding to plan. And she's not the only one who has found love outside of the show. Former contestants who did not win over the man that they were fighting for during the season they were on have found love and are on the same page as Ashley. So there's someone out there for everyone, and you don't need to be on a show to find love. However, if you like the attention, then it's great publicity and you get a taste of the Hollywood life. Okay, so most of the time, there are a lot of false reports out in the media. You cannot believe everything that you read. Sometimes articles come out that are saying that this celebrity said this about the other, and it's just all a lie. And recently, it was going around that Julie Bowen and Sofia Vergara, both from Modern Family, were going at it. Supposedly, there was some type of feud between the two, but Julie shut down the rumors this week when she was on the Ellen Show and let everyone know that there is nothing going on between the two. They are great friends and everything is fine between the two. There are so many stories out, out about many I'm sorry, there are so many stories out about many celebrities, which you just can't believe. Some tabloids are straight up lying and make things up to get the attention needed. So don't believe everything that's out there. You just can't. A lot of what is out there is made up for attention and to give people what they wish was true, but is not. Okay, so moving on to the last one here before I go, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have had a lot going on lately. They're not together anymore. The divorce is happening. Most recently, Brad Pitt was being investigated for child abuse. The investigation first started back in September, and what caused for it to even happen was some incident that took place on a plane between him and his son. But apparently, nothing big happened. It wasn't anything crazy, really. The thing is that it was enough for an investigation. And the good thing is that the investigation is finally over. Just ended this week after quite a few weeks of it going on. Nothing was found, and Brad Pitt was cleared. So this is now over, but Brad and Angelina have more work, more to work on and to fix in order to move forward with what works for both. Good luck to them. Divorce does not sound fun. All right, and I leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to catch a new episode next Friday. As always, get some of the latest weekly news exclusively here with me. I am your host, Diego Santoyo. Have a good one, you guys.